Welcome to The Explainer, where we deconstruct the blueprints of great stories. Today, we're going to look at Montauk, which was the original script that became the phenomenon we all know as Stranger Things. Let's dive in and see exactly how the Duffer Brothers built this incredible world right from page one. So, you might think the story starts with kids on bikes or maybe some flickering Christmas lights, right? Well, nope. It actually begins with just this, a really cryptic text-only history lesson about a real military base called Camp Hero. This immediately throws you into this world of Cold War paranoia and top-secret experiments. It just sets this incredibly ominous tone from the very first second. And then, before you can even really process what you just read, bam, the script hits you with this line. A scientist, his hazmat suit literally melting off, just stumbles out of this exploded doorway. There's zero warning, absolutely no buildup. It's just pure gut punch horror. It's a really brutal and super effective way of telling all of us, hey, this is not a kid's story. Okay, so this whole opening is really a masterclass in contrast. The writers are showing us exactly how they're going to get us hooked by smashing two completely different worlds together in the span of a single night. And you can really see that jarring shift right here. On one side, we have the absolute terror of the lab. I'm talking explosions, burned bodies, total chaos. And then we cut to a quiet, peaceful suburban street where the loudest thing is a dog barking. You know, the script even connects the two scenes with the sound of fire sprinklers turning into lawn sprinklers. It's just an incredible piece of writing that perfectly sets up the two opposing forces for the entire series. All right, next up, rolling the dice. This is the setup. So we leave all that carnage behind and we go to, of all places, the Wheelers' basement. An epic 7-hour game of Dungeons & Dragons is going on, and believe me, it is about to foreshadow absolutely everything. Now, this scene is so much more than just some 80s nostalgia trip. The writers are being so clever here. They're using D&D to introduce us to our heroes, their personalities, how they work as a team, and yet even the monster they're going to have to face in the real world. And just look how quickly we meet these characters. It's so efficient. Mike is the leader of the Dungeon Master. Lucas is the loudmouth knight, always spoiling for a fight. Dustin is the dwarf. And Will is the wizard, described as soft-spoken and gentle. His role in the game tells you everything you need to know about who he is before the real trouble even starts. And then we get this moment. Mike slams down this two-headed monster miniature right on the game board and names the big bad. He calls it the Demogorgon. I mean, think about it. We are on page 4 of the script, and they've already named the monster for this series, long before anyone knows it's actually real. That is just perfect foreshadowing. So, the game ends, the boys all head home, and now the real story begins. This whole sequence, Will's journey home all by himself, this is where the story truly kicks into high gear. What's so amazing here is how the script builds terror by holding back. We never actually get a good look at the creature. First, it's just a tall figure. Then, its proportions seem off. The threat is shown through these impossible things, like a chain bolt just sliding open by itself. Even in the shed at the very end, we only get glimpses. All the fear comes from what Will is seeing, not what we are. And then, silence. After all of that built-up tension, the script ends the first act with this one quiet, terrifyingly simple sentence. The shed is empty. Will has vanished. And just like that, the main conflict of the season is set. The game is over, and the real-life quest has just begun. So, with Will gone, the second act of the script has to introduce the key adults in our story and really establish the deep emotional stakes that are going to drive the whole series. So we meet Police Chief Hopper, but not with dialogue. We meet him through a description of his home, and it is a total mess, cluttered with all the signs of a man who has completely given up. This single image tells us everything we need to know about his state of mind before he said a single word. This is a perfect example of that classic screenwriting rule, show, don't tell. We learn about Hopper's pain not because he tells us, but because we see the pill bottles he needs just to get through the morning. And, most importantly, we see that framed family photograph on his wall of a life that he's lost. It's just pure visual storytelling. The script then does this brilliant thing where it cuts between two kitchens. In one, you have Joyce Byers, and you can just feel the rising panic in her voice. In the other kitchen, it's just the normal morning chaos of the Wheeler family. That contrast is amazing. It just hammers home Joyce's terror and how completely alone she is in her fear. So let's just step back and think about this. We are only 20 pages into the pilot script, and all the core pieces are already on the board. We've got the mystery of the secret lab, we've got a monster from a D&D game come to life, and we have the emotional core of the whole story, a missing boy. So the Montauk pilot isn't just a story, it's a masterfully constructed blueprint. It shows you exactly how to build a world, how to create that bone-chilling suspense, and how to make an audience fall in love with a group of characters in just a few perfect pages. It really makes you wonder what other phenomenal stories are out there just waiting for us to take a look at their blueprints.